Right now at 6, time is running out for Missouri property owners who owe 2 years of back taxes with just days left to avoid auction.
And we've got heat advisories in place across most of the area as our temperatures continue to climb into the upcoming weekend. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
Plus 80 Missouri counties are battling the state tax commission over property assessment values that could affect your tax bill.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is finally Friday in the 4 states, August the 15th. As we mentioned at the end of the 5 o'clock hour there, that's National Relaxation Day.
I know.
As well.
Where'd your chair go?
Well, it's a really short chair. I mean, I'm a really short person, so that's why it's good. The chair is really short, but it doesn't work so well at the green screen.
Could you imagine if you pulled it up here at the desk? We'd only see the top of your head.
Yeah, no, that would not be good at all. I'm like child size compared to this thing here. So, but it is National Relaxation Day. With the heat, it's a great opportunity to relax indoors because we have that potential for dangerous heat starting today. Let's start with that look outside downtown Pittsburgh. You can see things are looking all right. Skies are clear this morning. Our camera at 7th and Range Line, it is clear there as well. And then here's those heat advisories across the region. The latest of these run through Monday, and that's for the Springfield coverage area. But the others, again, 5 offices total that cover our region. Some of these run throughs tomorrow evening. Will they be extended? Wouldn't be surprised, honestly. And then, of course, as we've talked about in the past, Tulsa goes day by day. So these will expire this evening, very likely reappear for us tomorrow. But either way you paint it, it's dangerous heat. No relief out there either, just a few passing clouds as we head into the afternoon hours, and that's going to be about it for us. No future track showing a shower, not very likely at this point. Temperatures this morning already above normal, mid-70s in Joplin and in Pittsburgh, both at 75. Around the region, again, we're starting to progressively warm up. Miami Grove, Jay, Sedan, it's Chanute even at this point, pretty close to average as we should be about 69, 70, but a lot of us already low mid 70s, and we will continue to heat up through the morning hours. We'll go low 80s by 9, low 90s by noon, upper 90s for our highs today, close to 100. Some of you may even reach 100, and our heat index values today, hence the heat advisories, 105 to 110 degrees. So make sure you're staying hydrated, taking precautions, staying indoors if you can. And like I said, with it being National Relaxation Day, you got a great excuse to stay inside and just chill for the rest of today. We're going to talk about how long this heat wave is going to last and what kind of relief we might be looking at next week here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, property owners across the state of Missouri who've been delinquent on their taxes could see their property go up for sale. Owners who have a 2-year tax delinquency have until August 22nd to pay the taxes they owe before their property will be auctioned. Jasper County Collector Steve McIntosh says property owners will still have the ability to keep their property even if a certificate of sale is made.
If they can afford it, come in and pay their taxes. If they pay by the end of Friday, it won't be in the tax sale. End of Friday of what'll be the 22nd. Yeah, they pay by end of next Friday, it won't be in the tax sale. That's their best plan of operation.
The tax sale will take place Monday, August 25th at 10 a.m. at the Jasper County Courthouse in Carthage, Missouri. What's an issue that could make a difference for your family's budget? The property value assessment process is expected to be a topic in the upcoming Missouri legislative session. 80 counties were informed by the Missouri State Tax Commission they were out of compliance with state law and that they needed to raise property assessment values. Some, like the Newton County assessor, have refused to raise their valuations by the requested amount. In response, the State Tax Commission voted to withhold assessment maintenance funds more than $100,000 in Newton County alone. The commission's actions are drawing criticism from lawmakers like Missouri State Representative Dirk Deaton, who sat down with KOAM to discuss why he now wants to see reform.
Especially when a state bureaucratic entity, the State Tax Commission, unelected bureaucrats are trying to force and push elected county officials to raise these assessments. That's where I felt it was really inappropriate, and we've got to take a closer look at that.
Representative Deaton says he is also working on legislative reforms that would target increases to property taxes across the state. He says he wants to file a bill to allow counties like Newton and Jasper County to have the option to vote to freeze property taxes on their primary residents. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can always download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM News app. The conversation unfolds about the future of local funding in Fort Scott, Kansas. Community members packed the Empress Event Center to weigh in on whether to keep or eliminate a half-cent sales tax that's been in place for the past 4 years. As KOAM's Lonnie Walton reports, city leaders, including the city manager, say the tax is essential, helping to support key projects like engineering upgrades, new equipment for first responders, and more.
I came out this evening because I am completely ignorant of this topic and I came to be informed.
Karen Elizabeth is a Fort Scott resident. She, along with her community members, are currently paying a half-cent sales tax. But she wants to know, is it worth it?
I want to know what it's spent on, how successful the expenditures have been so far, and some accountability as to whether we were over budget, ran under budget. Were those good projects? Are they projects worthy of being continued?
Mayor Tim Van Hookey says the community needs this tax.
Everything from parks to, of course, the road work that's been done in this historical town. You don't have enough time unless I'm taking over your 6 o'clock hour.
City members say this sales tax will help first responders, parks, and more. But residents say,
I would keep the tax that we have for the streets. If we break the question down, I would probably vote against the other two.
Controversy from even before I moved here a year ago, April, about the bricks and whether or not they should be continued, how much cost it is required to refurbish those as opposed to just your usual asphalt.
City leaders say 80% of the tax will continue to fund streets in Fort Scott.
Our old asphalt or brick covered with asphalt or the brick roads that we're looking at right here in our historical downtown, so there's always going to be a lot of work to be done.
He says this tax is necessary regardless.
Oh, it would definitely have a detrimental effect, not that we would give up.
Reporting in Fort Scott, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Fort Scott residents will vote on the half-cent sales tax in November. And that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. President Trump meets with Russian President Putin in Alaska today for a high-stakes summit aimed at ending the war in Ukraine. Plus, new guidelines aim to combat high blood pressure, which affects nearly half of adults and ranks as the nation's leading cause of death. And Chris will have a look at your weekend forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 6:07. We'll be right back. But first, here's a live look from Memorial Park in Webb City. Well, topping Nation Watch, the U.S. State Department has announced visa restrictions for unnamed African, Cuban, and Grenadian government officials Wednesday. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the visa restrictions are for those involved with Cuba's medical mission program. The alleged labor scheme sent thousands of doctors to dozens of countries as forced labor. The visa ban will also apply to family members of government officials. Well, the United Nations reports July as the deadliest month for civilians in Ukraine since May 2022, with 286 killed and 1,388 injured across 18 regions. Long-range missiles and short-range drones are major threats. Since Russia's invasion in February 2022, over 13,883 civilians, including 726 children, have died and 35,548 have been injured. Danielle Bell of HRMMU wants that risk to civilians is rising. Well, soon President Trump will take off from Washington, D.C. for Alaska for his much anticipated meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. It comes 2 days after the president warned of severe consequences should Putin not agree to end the war with Ukraine. The White House has described today's sit down as a listening session since Ukraine's President Vladimir Zelensky will not be present, though President Trump is pushing to include him in future talks. Tareen Small has more on what to expect from Washington.
In just a few hours, President Trump will come face-to-face with Russian President Vladimir Putin for a high-stakes summit in Alaska.
We're going to find out where everybody stands.
The president has said he expects the meeting to be a starting point to future talks that include Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and he says he'll know within minutes if Putin is serious about ending Russia's war with Ukraine.
If it's a bad meeting, it'll end very quickly. And if it's a good meeting, we're going to end up getting peace in the pretty near future.
President Trump is expected to sit down with Putin one-on-one with only their interpreters present before their delegations join them.
Zelensky traveled to Berlin and London this week to shore up support from allies ahead of the summit. In a virtual call with Trump on Wednesday, Zelensky and European leaders pressed the U.S. president to push for an immediate ceasefire, and they pledged to ramp up pressure on Russia if necessary. Zelensky said he also told the group that Putin is bluffing. Russia has stepped up its military assaults on Ukraine in recent weeks. Some protesters in Alaska say they're skeptical the summit will result in a breakthrough.
I think it's all for show and it won't lead to anything good.
If the meeting does go well, the two leaders are expected to hold a news conference afterwards. Torian Small, CBS News.
Still to come, Grateful Dead fans get IMAX screenings of the band's movie for their 60th anniversary. Plus, Chris returns with another look at your Friday forecast from the Skywatch Weather Center. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. We'll be right back. Movie and streaming news now. Here's David Daniel with today's Hollywood Minute.
I know it's hard to believe, but I'm telling you, this game, it fills stadiums overseas. And it's only a matter of time before I'm staring at you from the cover of a Wheaties box.
The first teaser trailer is out for Marty Supreme, starring Timothée Chalamet as a young man with dreams of ping-pong greatness. The comic drama from director Josh Safdie is due in theaters December 25th.
I wouldn't want to have your job this week. You wouldn't want to have my job any week.
Landman is coming back. Paramount Plus has announced the West Texas oil drama will return for season 2 on November 16th. Billy Bob Thornton earned a Golden Globe nomination for his starring role in the hit series.
She's got everything delightful. She's got everything I need.
It's time for Deadheads to meet up at the movies again. The Grateful Dead movie is back for the band's 60th anniversary. This year, for the first time, some screenings will be in IMAX. The celebration begins today. Locations and tickets at meetupatthemovies.com. Still truckin' in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, lots of great entertainment there. Let's head over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got an absolutely beautiful sunrise out there this morning from our camera at 7th and Rangeline. Unfortunately, we do not have beautiful temperatures as we continue to reach dangerous levels through the weekend. Got a full look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 6:18. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. We are beginning with a traffic alert right now as MoDOT has taken this camera here near I-44. They've unfortunately pointed it back away from this accident scene. But I-44 eastbound at Mount Vernon, there is a crash. It's got the right side eastbound lane blocked. Traffic is backed up quite a bit around that area as well near mile marker 48. So you need to expect delays and, of course, find an alternate route if you can. And, of course, watch for potentially posted detours out there. So if you're traveling east, heading up towards Springfield, or you know somebody who is, give them a heads up that they are expecting this to be blocked at least for another hour or so as they clear this crash. Apparently a vehicle was in a minor crash and then a semi-truck crashed into the already crashed vehicle. It's causing some traffic delays out there. On to our forecast for today. We are looking at mostly clear skies. We'll have a southerly breeze, and that's really about it. Any of these little rain showers that pop up here on Future Track, pay no attention to them. It's trying to be hopeful for us, but we are not really looking at anything meaningful rain-wise for the next several days. Now, one thing Future Track shows, and I think the chance is still very low, is by tomorrow late evening, some of the pop-up storms and showers that have been happening off to our east might try and push into our far eastern counties. Even if they do, they'll be gone before you realize they've even arrived. But we'll keep an eye on that for you. But at this point, we're still keeping the rain chances out of the picture for Saturday, simply because that chance and the opportunity for that to happen is very low at this point. We'll continue with partly cloudy skies, though, through Saturday and into our Sunday, as well as we continue to deal with the potential for dangerous heat. Heat index values today, 105 to 110 across the region. That will happen again tomorrow, with those heat index values again potentially reaching pretty close. I mean, thankfully we're not seeing any of these specifically reach 110, but we're going to be pretty darn close, especially the further west you go over the next few days, with these heat index values continuing to climb. That's still through today, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, still looking at 105 to 110, and that's where we do see a couple of potential heat index values reaching 110 as we head into Monday. And with that said, we do have heat advisories across the region. Again, with all the offices that cover us, they have varying expiration times. Right now, the latest of them, coming from the Springfield office, runs through Monday evening. Tulsa, of course, goes day by day, so these will expire this evening, very likely go back into effect tomorrow. For parts of southeast Kansas and our northern counties, these will run through Saturday evening, but very likely I would be surprised if they are not extended through the weekend, just given how hot it's going to be. Of course, all of our extreme heat safety tips on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com/forecast. Got a couple of clouds out there to the east, otherwise clear skies, and that's what we'll have through the morning. Near 80 by 8, low 90s by 11 o'clock this morning. Our highs today, upper 90s. Some of you may even reach 100 with just a few clouds this afternoon. We'll have clear skies into the evening, still very warm, mid 80s by 10, well above average again tonight, into the mid 70s, and maybe a few clouds overnight. We also have what is still currently Tropical Storm Erin that is forecast to become a major hurricane as it pushes off to the east. So we're talking Category 3, Category 4 potential by Monday morning, very early Monday morning, so 1 o'clock our time. Now, right now, the current track is taking it away from Florida, but potentially turning it back to the northwest. And if it were to follow this path, going further out, and take it on a direct course for New York, Washington, Boston, the New England states up there. And if it maintains its strength, could be a pretty significant hurricane event. So something we'll be watching over the next several days. Again, near 100 for our highs through the weekend, start of next week. Pop-up storm chances Tuesday, Wednesday. Then we fall back at least down to normal, maybe not below normal, but right at. So we'll get a little relief from the heat by the second half of next week. That is a check of your forecast. Here's Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, there are new guidelines for people at risk of high blood pressure. The American Heart Association recommends limiting salt intake, consuming no more than 2 alcoholic drinks a day for men or 1 drink a day for women, losing 5% of your body weight if you're overweight, and managing stress with meditation, breathing exercises, and yoga. High blood pressure affects nearly half of all adults in the U.S. and is the nation's leading cause of death. Well, more than a third of Americans aren't aware of the link between the human papillomavirus and cancer and don't know there's a vaccine that can prevent it. A new analysis published in JAMA Oncology found states with the lowest awareness about HPV were in the Midwest and the South. Another issue, HPV vaccination rates for boys are far lower than for girls. HPV can cause several types of cancer, including cervical cancer, but many are unaware that HPV can also cause cancers that affect men, such as head and neck cancer. Well, researchers say they've discovered over 100 people in their 60s and 70s with the immune system of someone much younger. A Mayo Clinic study calls it a fountain of youth immune system and says these people have specialized immune cells. Scientists hope to learn more about why these people have young immune systems, but they also point out there is a downside, a higher risk of autoimmune disease. And that's a look at some of today's top health stories. We're back with more news and weather right after this. Right now at 6:30, families in Southwest Missouri gain access to expanded children's health care services through Mercy Hospital's new partnership with Children's Mercy Kansas City.
And a nice start to the day. Temperatures already above normal. We have heat advisories in place, dangerous heat building in. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, Wichita State University Tech and Crawford County's Career Center celebrate their new partnership with the ribbon cutting in Pittsburgh.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News at 6:29. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now finally Friday, August the 15th. Happy Friday. Some kids, it's your first Friday going into the first weekend of the new school year. And I'm sure after that first week, you know, even if you're super excited to get back, it is a bit of a drain. You got to get used to the schedule. And
especially with it being hot outside.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't make it any better. Yeah. And unfortunately, this dangerous heat is going to continue through the weekend, which means a lot of you kids, it's probably better if you stay inside this weekend as well. We're going to start with a live look outside downtown Pittsburgh, where we've got clear skies to start our day. Got some clouds well off to our east. Nothing significant to worry about there. Our camera 7th and range line, another great view of those clear skies and few clouds off to our east. And we also this morning do have a traffic alert to tell you about on I-44 eastbound. So the MoDOT folks thankfully pointed the camera back toward this area. You can see traffic is backed up. This is near mile marker 48, just on the downslope of this hill. There's a crash. Shannon Becker reporting there are 3 people who have been injured, and from what we've gathered, there was a car that was stopped for a minor crash, but then a tractor trailer ran into that vehicle. So that's what we've gathered. We'll have updates at our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. So right now, again, I-44 eastbound, the right lane is closed. It's at mile marker 48 or near mile marker 48. So as you saw on that camera there, you can expect travel delays. Try and find an alternate route if you can. So if you're headed out towards Springfield this morning, keep that in mind. If you know somebody who maybe is on their way, they're not there yet, let them know so that they can plan an alternate route, because crews are expecting that crash to take about another hour or so to clear. We have heat advisories on the weather side for just about everybody out there. The latest of these from the Springfield office run through Monday evening, and that is simply because our heat index values from today through at least Monday could be 105 to 110 degrees in the future track. No real relief out there. A few passing clouds, and that's really going to be just about it as we roll through our Friday. Temperatures this morning already above normal. 75 in Joplin, 73 in Pittsburgh right now, and we should be about 69, 70. We do have some locations close to that point, but all of us above normal in the low to mid 70s as we get this Friday started. Below 80s by 9, low 90s by noon. Our highs today upper 90s. Some of you may even get to 100. And again, heat index values up to 110 degrees across the area. We're going to talk more about this dangerous heat, how long it lasts, and when we might see some relief here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris. Thanks. Well, Mercy Hospital announces a new partnership with Children's Mercy in Kansas City. They hope to bring expanded pediatric services and specialized care to Southwest Missouri. Children's Mercy will manage Mercy's hospital-based and specialized pediatric care starting this November. They say this will strengthen the coordination between providers and improve access to care for children.
For certain specialties that we don't provide in Springfield, you have to travel 2.5 to 3 hours for even a clinic visit sometimes, or if they're in the hospital, depending on the duration of their stay, they may have to stay in that city for quite some time. And that takes parents away from their jobs, it takes families away from their care networks, and now they can get a lot of that within Springfield.
Children's Mercy specialists are already providing care in Springfield with expanded outpatient services in cardiology and support for neurology. Under the new agreement, Children's Mercy will provide management for pediatric services like surgery in the intensive care unit. Wichita State University Tech and the Career and Technical Career Center of Crawford County celebrate a new partnership with the ribbon cutting. The campus, located in Pittsburgh's Industrial Park off North Rouse, expands tuition-free technical education and career pathways in southeast Kansas. CTech has operated in Crawford County since 2016, and with WSU Tech partnering, students will now have greater access to certifications, dual credit courses, and hands-on training in fields like welding, HVAC, and heavy equipment operation.
So we want to come in and we want to just work side by side to continue to build upon the good work that they're doing, and then really listen to business and industry and to students on what do they need that they're not getting today, and then what are those programs, how can we bring those programs in, help build them together.
Well, since opening, CTEC has served more than 1,000 students and awarded over 1,100 industry-recognized credentials. The Community Foundation of Southeast Kansas is expanding its annual Match Day fundraiser into Match Week from November 10th through the 14th. For the past decade, Match Day has helped raise over $1.9 million to support local nonprofits and community organizations. The week-long event aims to make it easier for community members to participate and provide funding to important causes across Southeast Kansas.
It's truly humbling each year to see the support that our community provides and how much they care about our local nonprofits. It's just fantastic to see the support that comes in, the dollars and the number of donations. So to some people, giving a small amount is as much as somebody else giving a large amount, but everybody wants to support those who are doing great work in our community.
Local organizations who receive Match Week funds include the Miners Hall Museum Foundation, the Pittsburgh Public Library, and the SEK Humane Society. Well, Joplin teachers get some of the fanfare they deserve to start the year. The rah-rah is a tradition at the start of each academic school year as teachers and staff get together for a pep rally. The administration showcases exceptional employees and achievements.
See how unified the district is and how everybody is kind of there to support each other and create like a big welcoming atmosphere, and just kind of setting the standard for how the school year will go.
The Joplin Public School year begins next Wednesday. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. It's Friday, and of course that means Shannon Becker is in the studio with his big 3 stories of the week. We'll be right back. Time now 6:36, but before we head a break, here's a live look from Memorial Park in Webb City. Welcome back. We have Shannon Becker in the studio this morning with his big 3 news stories of the week. Shannon, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
You look great as always.
Thank you, as you do as well,
Yeah,
of course.
no, I kind of look like Chris Farley.
Oh,
it's all
gosh.
right. Let's take a look at the big 3 today. What's happening where you live? It's live and local. SWAT in the Easttown neighborhood. Oh my goodness, this was so hot the afternoon.
Yes.
This gentleman here refused to come out of a residence on East Valley and North High in that area there. He went into a residence. It was actually his grandmother's residence, we
Okay.
understand now.
Right.
He's been charged with first-degree burglary, which is a felony, amongst other charges that he's already on probation and parole for.
Okay.
He's facing probably a lot of time. How about that? If Jasper County judges might make some different decisions.
Sure.
He's been placed on these suspended sentences for a long time. We'll have more details on our website, KOAM News Now. That's when he was coming out. He was rather angry, looking right at us there the other afternoon. Our number 2 story, Joplin News First, live and local, fatal house fire. It was the other morning, Webb City and Dunwig Fire, Joplin Fire even responded to assist. Everybody got out of the house safely, but one resident, he did not make it out of the home. They tried life-saving measures, rushed him to a hospital. He was pronounced deceased later. A lot of people online have been saying what a great person he was, what a great man he was. So you can read more on those tributes on our website, KOAM News Now. Our number 1 story, tragedy in Carthage on Fairview Avenue. This happened, I think it was a week ago Thursday actually, but people have really been talking about it. Today is the service for the young lady who was a passenger who died. The driver of that pickup truck, she's still in critical condition in Springfield at a hospital. Her family are asking for prayers and support.
Absolutely.
And then our bonus story of the week, I didn't know this was still a thing, but catalytic converters.
Yeah.
Somebody's stealing them. Now, this was at Emmanuel Baptist Church the other day in Webb City. You got a good look at his face here.
You really do.
And now those catalytic converters, the big ones like this off the church van, they bring big money, I understand. Not that I know all of the, the ins and outs, but anyway, Ghetto Tacos had theirs stolen off there. One of the car repair shops had stolen off of an RV. And so that's Webb City alone, what I've heard.
Right.
I do believe it's a felony to sell and possess them, though, if they're stolen. So watch out for that.
Absolutely.
If you can ID this man, check it out. Contact the Webb City Police Department. That's our big 3 today, KOAM News Now.
Shannon, as always, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Time for some Friday birthdays here in the 4 states, and we're starting in Chanute with Ryan Keyser, celebrating birthday number 2 with love from Grammy, Grandpa Karhoff, and Aunt Kayla.
And happy 6th birthday to Eliza Snell in St. Paul. It says here, love Mom and Dad.
And we've got Brody Schaefer celebrating birthday number 6 today in Altamont. A hardworking farmer, master Lego builder, and fantastic little brother. Very happy birthday to you.
And over in Next City, a happy 7th birthday to Avery Dobbs.
And in Baxter Springs, Isaac Zom celebrating birthday number 10. Welcome to the double digits, Isaac. A very happy birthday to you.
And a happy 33rd birthday to Tara Hutto, in Crestline. It says here, happy birthday and congrats 1st year as a teacher in Riverton.
Right, very exciting.
Yes.
Getting ready to go into the school year and shape the minds of kids here in the 4 states. And in Carl Junction, Kaylee Dooley celebrating birthday number 36 today. Happy birthday.
And over in Elk City, a happy 38th birthday to Kelsey Ammerman.
And in Carthage, Brenda Burke celebrating birthday number 55. It says, happy birthday, love your husband.
Making our way over to Columbus with a very happy birthday to Brian Clugston.
And also in Columbus, Carol Maddox celebrating another year wiser. It says, happy birthday from the Kansas, Texas Travelers.
And a happy birthday to Shirley Bell Rooney in Chitopa. It says, happy birthday from your family and church family.
And our neighbor in Crestline, Fred Edwards, celebrating another year wiser, says, happy birthday from the Crestline girls.
And continuing our list with a happy 60th birthday to Eric Cole in Humboldt.
And in Fairland, a big one here, John Henry Whipke, celebrating birthday number 100. A very happy birthday to you.
And last but not least, over in Arma, happy birthday to Penny Ford.
All right, another great list of birthdays and anniversaries. And of course, if you would like to celebrate your special occasion or your loved one's special occasion with us, Elise has some information you need to take down.
Yes, please submit those birthdays and those anniversaries to birthdays@koamnewsnow.com. Be sure to include those wonderful photos and messages to, of course, meet the deadline that you see there at the bottom of your screen. And to also please include the date of your celebration when you submit as well.
Very important information there. And we are beginning with a traffic alert this morning in southwest Missouri. We do have a serious crash that's taken place. This is I-44 at Mount Vernon. You can see traffic. This is eastbound, is backed up. The right-hand lane is closed and traffic moving very slowly. KOM Shannon Becker was just here is confirming there may be, unfortunately, a fatality with this crash. So estimated clearance time was about 7:30. If that is the case, then it may take a little longer for them to complete their investigation, but still a very serious crash, very serious situation with traffic backing up out here. We don't want any additional crashes, so if you can avoid the area, absolutely do so. Again, this is going to be about mile marker 48 near Mount Vernon. Obviously, you need to expect travel delays. Find an alternate route if you can. So if you are heading toward Springfield this morning, or even at this point with how far traffic's backing up, if you're heading toward Mount Vernon this morning, you need to find an alternate route. If you know somebody, they're getting ready to start that way, or maybe they're just outside of the Joplin city limits, or maybe near Carthage on I-44, alert them to this as well so that they can find an alternate route and get where they're going when they need to. And again, really, drivers need to try and find that alternate route. They don't want any additional crashes out there as they have a very serious crash, very serious scene that they've got to work this morning. And then on the other side, we have very serious heat to worry about as we head into the weekend. No real relief out there. Onto the future track. We'll have just a few clouds out there today. Any of these little green splotches, just ignore them. Right now, any rain chances we have from now through at least next Tuesday are just too low. And that's assuming we have any at all. Future Track is trying to give us a little bit of hope with maybe a pop-up shower, but that doesn't look very likely as we head through today and into the weekend. For Saturday, it's much of the same. We'll have clear skies, or at least mostly clear skies to start, going partly cloudy as we head into the afternoon. Again, it's showing maybe a shower or two, and it's not out of the realm of possibility. It's just that chance for a shower or two is extraordinarily low. Now, one interesting thing that's showing up, and even though it's going to look somewhat more meaningful on Future Track here in a moment, I still think the overall chance is very low right now. If it changes, of course, we'll update the forecast accordingly. But we've had pop-up shower storms off to our east and southeast over the last couple of days. Future Track thinks that by Saturday evening, at least briefly, some of those to our east might try and build a little to the west into our very far eastern counties. So Stockton, Monette, Mount Vernon, Cassville. I really, again, think that this chance, even though it looks impressive on Future Track, is extraordinarily low. So right now, we're not including any rain chances for Saturday. If that changes, obviously, we'll let you know. But I think we're just going to be hot, dry, muggy as we head through the weekend. That will carry on into our Sunday. Partly cloudy Saturday night into Sunday. Partly cloudy skies again for us on Sunday, and just the extreme heat that we're going to have to deal with. So what are we looking at in terms of heat index values? Well, we're looking at, again, that potential for dangerous heat. Heat index values today, 105, some of us getting close to, or at least flirting with, 110 degrees out there, especially as you head a little further south and west. As we head into Saturday, we're showing some relief, and by relief, I mean you're going to be 3 degrees cooler with your heat index value. You won't really notice it, but it's showing maybe slightly lower heat index values south of I-44 on Saturday. It's a possibility, but even then, still dangerous heat. Heat index values again Saturday for most of us, 105 to 110. That process repeats again on Sunday. Sunday, it's still showing, again, 100 to 105 degree heat index value south of I-44. We'll see how that pans out, but again, even then, that's still dangerous heat. And by Monday, this is why what I'm about to show you does what it does. We're a little hotter. We've got heat index values back up 105, 110, and some of us may even reach that point on Monday. So again, we are talking dangerous heat over the next several days, and it will be a bit before we get a break from this heat wave. We do have heat advisories in place across virtually the entire region. And again, 5 different forecast offices cover us. If you're ever curious about why warnings or things like that will stop at a county line or have a weird shape to them, it's because this is Topeka, this is Kansas City, this is Springfield, this and Arkansas is Tulsa, and then this is all from Wichita. It's also why under these situations, heat advisories, things like this, winter storm warnings, things of that nature, are typically issued at the local level, and so that's why they all expire at different times. We've talked about in the past, Tulsa goes day by day, so these expire at 8 this evening, very likely come back tomorrow. Springfield has gone ahead and put these out through at least Monday evening. Some of these run through Saturday evening. Will they be extended? I would not be surprised. And remember, we have our extreme heat safety tips on our website, koamnewsnow.com/forecast, and they will be there through the duration of this extreme heat. Near 80 to start, low 90s by 11 o'clock this morning. Clear skies out there. Upper 90s near 100 for our highs today, and again, maybe a few passing clouds. Clear for the evening, still very warm, and maybe a few clouds overnight, mid-70s. And just a quick update on Tropical Storm Aaron right now, but forecast to become a major hurricane this weekend, potentially reaching Category 3 or 4 strength by late Sunday, very early Monday morning. Now, right now, its current path has it turning more northwesterly, and if it follows that and holds intensity of any kind, that puts it on a direct course for the New England states, which could have a very serious impact on places like Washington, New York, and Boston. So something I know a lot of folks will be watching over the next several days. That's a quick check of your forecast. We're having another look at your forecast and your wake-up recap in just a moment. And when we transition to Fox 14 at 7 a.m., or you hang out with us here on KOAM Plus, Taylor Swift continues to boost Kansas City businesses as local shop owners prepare for another season of Swiftie shopping.
And here's a check of your wake-up recap for August 15th. The top stories to start your day. Missouri property owners, if you're 2 years behind on your taxes, you have until August 22nd to settle your dues. After this deadline, your property may be auctioned. Jasper County's tax sale is set for Monday, August 25th at 10 a.m. at the Jasper County Courthouse in Carthage. Now, even if a certificate of sale is issued, you can still retain your property by paying your taxes. Mercy Hospital has partnered with Children's Mercy in Kansas City to enhance pediatric services in Southwest Missouri. Starting this November, Children's Mercy will manage Mercy's hospital-based and specialized pediatric care, improving coordination and access for children. Specialists are already active in Springfield, offering expanded cardiology and neurology services. This agreement will also cover management of pediatric surgery and the ICU. And Wichita State University Tech and the Career and Technical Education Center of Crawford County has launched a new partnership celebrated with a ribbon cutting at Pittsburgh's Industrial Park. This initiative expands tuition-free technical education and career pathways in Southeast Kansas. Students will now access certifications, dual credit courses, and hands-on training in fields like welding, HVAC, and heavy equipment. Since 2016, CTech has served over 1,000 students, awarding more than 1,100 industry-recognized credentials. That's a check of today's Wake Up Recap.
And we have heat advisories through at least Monday. Dangerous heat out there. Highs upper 90s, near 100. Heat index values today could reach up to 110. Very warm, clear skies through the evening. Mid 80s by 10, mid 70s overnight, so well above average. We'll continue with temperatures near 100 really through the weekend. Heat index values 105 to 110 out there. Maybe some pop-up storms Tuesday, Wednesday. Temperatures dropping a little closer to normal, at least cooler than where we're going to be as we roll into the second half of next week.
All right, well, coming up today at noon, we're making sausage, pepper, and onion sandwiches in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. 2 years after the Maui wildfires devastated Lahaina, recovery is still underway. Nate went back to see how the community is working to rebuild and heal.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. This morning, Taylor Swift fans fuel Kansas City's economy as businesses stock up on merchandise for her rumored orange era.
Plus, Shannon Becker back in the studio. This big 3 stories of the week. However, that is going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll be back here Monday morning at 5 a.m.
And we'll see you today at noon.